Hi Stampers, it's Gigi with Stamp FUNatics, and welcome to week 2 of my 12 weeks of Halloween. Today I have this cute little treat holder. It's a little coffin, cute though, not scary, and it has this cute little Hershey nugget that can fit in there. All right, let me just do it this way. Okay, so that way your little ones aren't getting too much candy. Also makes a cute little place setting. The Rolos, I think you could probably go ahead and push 2 down in there and fit them. And let me show you what we're going to be using for today. We're going to be using our Home Sweet Home framelits and our stamp set. We're going to be using that cute little ghost to stamp. And then out of the framelits, we're going to use the bat and we're going to use the house. And then for our saying, we're going to use the teeny tiny wishes, and I'm going to be using that one right there that says sweet treats, because it was a real tiny little saying, which is all I wanted on there. And for our moon in the background, I did the color theory paper because it's got all this great marbling and variation. And I took my 1.5-inch circle punch and I just punched out a circle. So we're going to be using that. We're going to need our big shot to cut out our framelits. And here's the framelits that I used out of the set. I used the house, I used the little black bat, and I used the little ghost framelit. So I don't have to cut out that ghost. I can just use a framelit. Love it when I don't fussy cut. So what I did to start, and I went ahead and did this to save some time, is I cut out 2 of the little house. Now this is the complete house die, and I cut 1 full one, and then this one I don't need all of that, so I just made sure I used the one that has the point on it, not the squared off one that looks like a cup. And I just had a little bit of a border over there, but don't waste your paper with all that because we're going to cut it all off anyway. So what you're going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and fold on my score lines so you can kind of see where we are. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off this bottom tab and cut that off. I'm going to cut this top whole tab off on that score line. And then I'm going to cut these score lines, these triangles. And then I'm going to find the middle spot and just kind of cut straight across, maybe right about there. So it kind of gets that coffin shape. And then I'm just going to take my scoring tool and I'm just going to do a nice crease on these pieces. Okay. And then this piece, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this whole score line off. Don't need that. I really don't need any of this, so I'm going to go from the bottom of this score line to the bottom of this score line and just try to cut straight across. And then I'm going to cut this whole score line off, and then this bottom one like this, so that it's sort of in the shape of a cup. And let me just cut a little bit more on that score line to make it a little straighter. There we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my scoring tape, because I like to use a really strong adhesive on my box, and this is going to fold up, and then this is going to go in, and this is going to go over. So we're going to fold up, and we're going to take our scoring tape and just put a little piece there. I'm going to put 2 because I really want it to hold well. When you're pushing treats in little boxes, it's really a good idea to have a good strong tape. You could use your Tombow glue, maybe even some fast fuse. And then since this is going to come in and over, I'm going to put some glue on here. Let me bring my silicone sheet in because I don't want to go to the magic of videos. I have a new scoring tape. I just ran out before. And so I'm going to put this along this scored edge, and it is a little bit wider, and I'm not worried about it hanging over, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get my ends down real well, and then when I peel this off, make sure I'm just getting the white and leaving, see this little bit of an edge that's still there? Well, all I'm going to do is fold it back towards the glue so that it doesn't show over the edge. That way I won't have any unnecessary stickiness. And I'm going to go ahead and take this side off. And I'm going to go ahead and fold this over and then fold this over the top. Okay, and then we have this piece that's going to hide all this and will go actually right there over the top. So let's go ahead and put some scoring tape on our little coffin. Another piece maybe down here, or maybe one more in the middle. This way it won't come apart. And again, you can use your Fast View or Tombow glue, whatever you feel more comfortable with. You just want a strong adhesive. Snail would not make it in this this project because it's not going to hold as well. Okay, so I'm just going to match up my ends here and just bring that over like that. I have a little bit of an edge there I'm going to cut off. And then these little points here, if they're sticking out, just turn them over. I just kind of, if the piece wound up going to the edge a little bit, I just kind of trim those off. And the same thing on that little pointed edge. And there you have your cute little coffin base. Okay, so the next thing I did was I took my piece of Color Theory, I just punched out my moon, and I added it to my coffin, and I just used a little Fast Views on that, and I did it flat. I didn't pop up anything on that one. All right. And then what I want to do is I want to use, oh, I think I forgot to show you this. I used the Daffodil Delight, and it is a 1/4 inch double stitched ribbon, and this is the great ribbon that's in our new annual catalog. That's going to go across the top just for a little trim, and it really matched that nicely. So I'm just going to take some of my tear and tape again, and I'm going to start maybe on the front there, and I'm just going to wrap it around my little coffin. Back to the front, and when I meet, then I'm just going to cut it off. Okay, then I'm going to take my edges and just peel that off. And I'm going to take my ribbon, I'm going to get my silicone mat again so it doesn't stick, and I'm just going to actually start in the back with my edge and lay it right in the glue. Bring it around and to the back again, so that way it meets up in the back. I'll take my better paper snips, and that's going to be the back, that'll be the front. And it just gave it a little more interest to have that ribbon. I actually love this ribbon with the stitching. Kind of reminds me of, you know, even the Frankenstein has the stitching on his head. So it kind of reminded me of that time of year. Anyway, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little piece of scrap Whisper White, and we're going to go ahead and stamp our ghost. And while we're at it, we can stamp our saying with a little piece of pumpkin pie. Okay, let me put that up there. I'm going to use my black Memento ink. Do my ghost. And then I'm also going to do my saying. And this I cut a 1/2 inch. And so I'm just going to put my saying on there. I believe this is in the right direction. Yep. Okay. So let's get our big shot out, and we can go ahead and we can cut our ghost, and we can cut our bat out of the black. So let me get those tools. All right, let's move that up. Both my plates. There we go. All right, so we're just going to take the cute little ghost, and I'm using my magnetic plate because it holds these magnets a little bit better. And then I'm going to get a piece of a scrap of black. And this could be left over from your house, and that's, you know, use that piece. You could probably get a few bats out of there. And I'm just going to run that through. Okay. And the ghost is going to punch out pretty nice. And I'm putting my framelits back on my stand so I don't lose them. I kind of gave you that tip the last time. And then this, I actually need to get my little brush, and we're going to go ahead and use the brush to get the little bat out of the framelit. So I just run my little brush over it, and it sort of pushes in those holes until it releases the little bat. Okay. There we go. And then if you don't have this little brush, this is a great set to get. If you don't have it, you can also use maybe your paper piercer to just puncture those few holes, and that would help get it out too. All right, so we're ready for this, and then I just need my saying. And the only thing I did with this saying, I just took my scissors, my little snips, and I just sort of cut it the size that I thought I needed it. Let's see. Get this out of here too so I don't lose it. And then I just kind of flanged the edge by cutting it up in the middle and then cutting from both sides, and that just kind of gives it a little bit of a banner look. And then I decided where I wanted that first, and then I put my ghost over it after. So let me get a little bit of, actually we can just use glue dots I think for this part. Let's use that. I hope you've been enjoying some of these Halloween videos. This is the first year I'm doing them, so I'm excited, and I hope you're enjoying them. I've gotten a lot of good comments from them, and I hope you continue to give me some comments and feedback. I love to hear what you like and how you're enjoying them. I'm going to put one dimensional on the back of the ghost, just to kind of pop him up, and maybe put him right about there. And then our little teeny bat, first I was going to put a bow there, and I was going to put twine and this and that, but I saw this cute little bat and I thought, well, he kind of goes with the coffin real well. So what you're going to need to do is take your glue dots and take your paper piercer or your nail or whatever you want to use, tip of your scissors, and I'm just going to roll that up until it's like in a little glue ball. And then I'm going to take that little glue ball and I'm just going to put it on the back of the wing. And I'm going to put another one on the other side, and that's how I'm gluing him on to the ribbon, because this is pretty sturdy glue and it will also hold it real well. So I'm just making it small enough so he won't show on the wing, and then I'm just going to put him right in the middle of that ribbon. Isn't he cute? And then we have one more thing we're going to add, and that is our bright enamels. I have our orange, and I'm just going to take one of the little stars and just add it right about there. I just thought that was cute for Halloween. Stars and the moon. And that's our treat for today. So I hope you're enjoying, and will join me again for week 3 next week of our 12 weeks of Halloween. Thank you and have a great day.